Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're going to dig into sleep, how important it is, but we're also going to make sure that you understand what it means when you don't get good sleep tonight. Every time we talk about sleep, there are different things we're going to focus on, but I'll make sure you know about the main aspects we'll talk about tonight. These are some of the things I want to make sure you know. Why are you waking up with pain? We're going to talk a little bit about that. The best sleep position. So many questions always about that. There's only 3 real main choices. We're going to tell you why you wake up after a full night's sleep and you still feel tired. We'll go over that. We're going to let you know what are some of the habits that will help you fall asleep and stay asleep. Good sleep starts the night before. Sounds crazy, but it starts the night before. Do you need a new pillow or a mattress? We're going to talk about what you should look for if you're looking into buying a pillow or a mattress, and we're going to talk about how chiropractic affects your sleep directly. So let's dig into some of the data. You didn't know this, but we planned this beautifully. March is National Sleep Awareness Month. The CDC says that at least a third of all of us Americans get insufficient sleep. Prioritizing sleep hygiene is critical, for good health. It is more than rest. It's like, well, I just need the rest. My body's tired. So many things happen. Let's go through them. There's so many here. Your brain clears out toxic waste products. That includes proteins that are linked to Alzheimer's. So you've probably heard tons of research that talks about how to reduce risks for dementia and Alzheimer's. One of those is good sleep. Your muscles will repair. Your immune system recharges and your hormones tend to rebalance. Your liver processes most of your hormones. It's at its highest activity in the middle of the night. Cortisol, that's your stress hormone, should drop when you sleep so that your nervous system can totally unwind. If you're not sleeping well, your cortisol is staying high, your body's not unwinding. And we're going to talk about how to help with this. Growth hormone. Your growth hormone is going to help repair tissue and joints, and it peaks during deep sleep. So if you're a light sleeper, you don't have very good deep sleep, which you could measure with an Oura Ring, with your Apple Watch, with so many devices now, a Whoop band, a Hume band, there's so many ways. If you're not getting good deep sleep, that's not the problem, it's just an indication that there is a problem. Your spine decompresses. Your discs rehydrate. Did you know that the studies have shown that when you sleep, you could gain up to 1 inch to 2 inches when you wake up from going to sleep? Why is that? Because your spine has intervertebral discs, shock absorbers in between all the bones that fill with water. If you're not getting a good amount of collagen, you don't have proper movement of your spine, you can't imbibe all the fluid. But if your spine is healthy and imbibing fluid, you could gain height when you wake up. Your discs will lose height if you're not taking care of them. And chiropractic is one of those ways to help take care. So let's talk about that pain and the sleep connection here. It's a cycle. If pain is waking you up at night, there's a couple things you need to understand. If pain can make it hard to sleep, that's one thing. Poor sleep lowers your pain threshold, meaning that your body becomes more sensitive to pain. So if I'm going to bed and I can't stay asleep because I have pain, now that poor sleep is causing me to be more sensitive to pain. And our brain learns pain. Chronic pain is really where our brain learns a pain signal from a certain area of the body, even if that area of the body is now healthy or healed. Our brains need rebooted. Again, why we need deep sleep. More pain, more sleep disruption, more pain, more sleep disruption. It's a cycle. Inflammation also spikes with sleep deprivation. If you're stiff and sore, we call it the fist test. If you can't close your fist easily when you wake up, if it feels pretty stiff and sore to make a full fist, or it's harder to make one when you wake up in the morning versus when you went to bed, even if you can make one, you have inflammation. You have increased acidity of your body. The nerves are more irritated and the joints are further irritated when you're not getting good sleep and inflammation. Your spine needs this sleep to decompress. So if I have a compressed spine, I'm not getting good sleep, I wake up and I sit all day, which is the worst thing for your spine, even more than standing. But if you're not moving, your discs are dehydrating and they're decompressing. They're getting compressed all day and then they're not decompressing at night. Did you know 67% of chronic pain patients report significant sleep problems? That's 3 times more likely to develop depression when pain disrupts your sleep. This is what holistic is about. It's understanding that our physical body can affect our mental state can affect our physical body, and our chemistry can be all out of whack when we're eating in a poor way. So understand the facts. Stress, your nervous system, and sleep, intricately connected. Remember, there's 2 sides to your nervous system. There's the sympathetic, fight or flight, and then there's the parasympathetic, rest and digest. If your fight or flight system is increased, your tension in your spine is increased, it builds up throughout the day, your cortisol levels increase, it keeps you wired at night, you're wired but tired, you don't take good deep cleansing breaths, you limit the oxygen in recovery, and chronic stress tends to shorten deep sleep stages. So the more that stress or fight or flight is active, the poorer your sleep will get, and the more deteriorated your body becomes. How do we reset some of that? Deep breaths, like we just said, deep breathing exercises. The parasympathetic, that rest and digest system, needs tuned in. We need to increase that part of the nervous system and improve its strength and tone. Adjustment stimulated. That's why I said so many patients, after an adjustment, sleep better. Research shows that adjustments lower cortisol levels, reduce spinal tension, and that helps sleep to become sooner. HRV is called heart rate variability. That means that your heart is adapting very efficiently to stressors or changes in your body's needs. The less adaptable your heart is, the more stressed you are. So stress decreases your heart rate variability. If you looked on your Apple Watch, if you have one on your Apple Health, you can look on any of the watches or rings, they have an HRV reading. Deeper rest equals an improved HRV. Your HRV is one of the biggest things that you can monitor your chronic stress levels with. So let's talk about good sleep posture. Very important to know that there's really only 3 ways you can fall asleep: on your back, on your side, or on your stomach. Best, probably to decompress and maintain good alignment with proper bed, would be back sleeping, especially putting a pillow underneath your knees. When your body is in this position, it's less likely to be distorted and twisted or laterally flexed. Your spine should be straight when you fall asleep. Your spine shouldn't have too much of a curve or too little of a curve. Now, there's a lot of people who have beds that adapt anymore, and the problem with that, even in a zero gravity position, is that if you fall asleep on your back in that little bit of zero gravity, meaning the feet might be a little bit elevated, that's why we're telling you put a pillow if you don't have a bed, maybe your head's a little bit elevated, your back's in a great place. But what happens when you turn onto your side? Well, now I'm tilted because my bed is tilted, and now I'm jamming down all through my hips. So if you change positions, which most people do, your body naturally should change positions, then you probably want to make sure that you have a pillow and a bed that can support back and side sleeping, and that as you're adjusting, the pillow goes from underneath your knees to in between your knees, from in between your knees to underneath your knees. If you're changing positions and you can know where you are. If you're resting sound, that's great. If you're not, make sure you're adjusting these positions. Your pillow should be a point where your head is in alignment with your torso, not shifted too far one way if too much of a pillow, or too little of a pillow where I'm tilted. Your spine is in abnormal alignment, and research shows the more dysfunctional your alignment, the slower your brain connects to your body. And all this conversation I'm having is so your brain and your body can connect and communicate properly. That's why I adjust you. If every time I adjust you, you fall asleep in a bed that's tilted and twisted and distorted, or it's not supporting you properly with the right type of mattress springs or foam or combination, then you are wasting some of the adjustment on poor sleep. So side sleeping, moderately okay if done well. Remember, pillow between the knees and the right pillow in between your shoulder and your head. If you're sleeping on your back, your pillow should not be very large. We don't want it pushing you forward, because as you lose the curves of your body, that is called the arc of life. That affects the information going from your brain to your body. Why is stomach sleeping so bad? Why do we not recommend it? When you're on your stomach, number one, you do have to raise your chest just to breathe. It's harder work and effort for your body, and your head is turned one side or the other. If it stays that way, we have a continued rotation and stress on your spine. Your body may determine that it should be in a face down position. You can't control what your body does at night, but you can try to set it up for success with the right type of alignment and pillows for comfort. They did a study in which babies were monitored when they sleep. And babies who would fall asleep on their stomachs, which was totally normal, they do develop better in those ways. Babies can handle this because they equally turn their head side to side. But adults, when they were studied, would fall asleep in one position and not move as well. And that was very tough on the body. So when our bodies are young and healthy and vibrant, they know what to do. When your body is fatigued, run down, tired, inflamed, and deteriorated, your sleep is inflamed, deteriorated, and tired. So how can we improve that quality of your sleep? Well, let's talk about that a little bit. Here's some habits. Here are some things we should start to do. Go to bed and wake up at the same time. Like I said, a good night's sleep starts the night before by starting a habit of going to bed at this time, waking up at this time. Reduce noise and light. Our bodies are very sensitive. If they're already in fight or flight anyway, we need to reduce any indication that it's light outside with all the lights it might be in your home or from the street lights, and we need to reduce noise. White noise is okay. Keep your bedroom cooler. They have found that your HRV increases and deeper sleep increases when your room temperature is between 65 to 68 68 degrees in your room. Turning off the electric devices 30 minutes before trying to go to bed. Very important. That light stimulates your brain to think it's daytime and your brain to continue to work. Even if you're numb, mindlessly doing something, your brain's still being turned on. More importantly to do before bed would be reading, meditating, journaling. Huge things to do before bed. Avoid large meals and alcohol before bed. That will destroy the consistency of your blood sugar so that at nighttime your body is able to repair. Instead of repairing, your liver gets stuck trying to balance your blood sugar and it wakes you up. And then when your blood sugars drop too low or gotten too high and you wake up due to that processing of alcohol or sugar or food, then you can't get back to sleep if you've got your mind going on and now you've started a cycle. Limit those things. Limit caffeine in the afternoon latest. Okay? Latest you should have afternoon caffeine. Morning best if you're going to have it, stay before noon. Exercise regularly and maintain that healthy diet. You need to get your body started in the morning with exercise so that it can go down. All day long your cortisol should be reducing so that by the evening you're ready to fall asleep. If you don't exercise, your cortisol may just start to ramp up instead of ramp down. Let's find the right pillow for you. What we've found, the most best, I'd say, of both worlds would be what we call Pillow-Wise. Pillow-Wise is probably the pillow that we've had more patients than ever like. Very few returns on that pillow, and most people can find the right size for them. Now we measure, so if you're going to go buy a pillow online, it's hard to say if it fits your body. Well, these Pillow-Wise are going to fit your body properly, which means we're going to measure your neck, your shoulders, and from head to shoulder so that you have the right size pillow. There's different templates. You get a color. If that color doesn't work, you can always adjust it and go up or down a color. The other reason we like them, they're supposed to last 5 years. If you've ever had a pillow with certain foam, after a year or two, it's thinner than it used to be. And this foam is Dutch memory foam, which is very soft, and it lasts for 5 years. And if it doesn't, you have a warranty for that. It's going to have a slight curvature to it. I'm not for really firm pillows that have a large curvature or a large dip in the middle. It's hard to know if you're going to land in the right spot with that, and if you're on your back, that's fine, but if you're on your side, you might not be as healthy. So you got to find which way to use these. So these pillows have a right amount of hump to them to kind of support your neck on the side or the back. It's going to support that natural curve. It does not overheat and is very soft. Like I said, it's not firm. Let's talk about the mattress. Let's talk a little bit about what you're looking for when it comes to a mattress. Number one is, when do you need a new mattress? I would say that anything over 7 years is probably getting too old anymore. They used to say 10 years or maybe 20 years. Beds just do not last like they used to. The firmness, the buoyancy to support your spine and your hips is lost, even if it was good at one point. If you can see visible sagging or indentations where you sleep or in the bed, that's definitely time to get rid of it. If you toss and turn a lot, it might be an indication that your bed isn't fitting you. If you wake up stiff and sore, another good reason. Saatva mattresses, which should be on our website, a link for those. Saatva mattresses are chiropractic approved. They have 7 different models at least, and what I like about it is you can take a quiz to find out which model is going to work best for you. These mattresses are made in Indiana with more natural materials, so they're not as chemically laden as other mattresses, and you do get a whole year, I think, of use before, if you didn't like it, you can return it. It's a white glove delivery, so they will bring us right to your home, take it right out of your old mattress and put this new one in for you. Let's do a sleep audit. So what are some simple steps to improve your sleep? Well, first off, let's talk about if you wake up during the night, how you feel in the morning, and how many hours of sleep are you getting. Track it for 3 nights. Write down your amount of time in bed, and if you do know, maybe how long you actually slept while you're in that bed. You might spend a lot of time in bed and not be asleep. How many times did you wake up during the night? You know, I would say that an ideal body can sleep throughout the night without having to urinate. If there's other toxins or stresses that are being dumped and the body needs to get rid of those, it'll wake you up. We're looking for minimum 5 hours of uninterrupted sleep. If you're not getting that, put that down. But we'd like to see at least 7 hours, closer to 8 of full sleep. And how do you feel in the morning? You know, rested, tired, groggy, painful. Check your sleep position first. You know, are you a stomach sleeper? How are you waking up? You may fall asleep one way, but how are you waking up? Try to switch from that stomach position to side sleeping if possible. Put those pillows underneath your knees or between your knees. Evaluate your pillow. You know, can you squish it flat? Does it even spring back? If not, it's probably not supporting your neck, very likely. Now set a consistent wake time. Wake at the same time every day for 7 days and notice how your energy shifts. There are so many times that people are challenged by ill health, and I think our society is really good at trying to sell you a widget, a bed, a pillow that's going to fix all the problems. There's no pill, potion, or lotion that's going to get you to sleep better or fix all your problems and pains just because you have this new mattress. But you may need a new mattress. You may need a new pillow. And look on our website for some of these links. But make sure that you're looking at your well-rounded lifestyle and looking, are you practicing the eating well, moving well, and thinking well approach? And can you find people around you who will challenge you to do that more and better? If you're ready to sleep better, ask us. We'll try to help give you the most personalized way that we think you could do better. But start to work on you and see the changes. All right, guys. Well, thank you for being here. You guys have a good night. Bye-bye.